I was gonna go to a baby group this morning, 10 till 10:30. He's just showing signs of waking. He's wiggling a little bit. I'll get there like 15 minutes late, and then I think I'll just find it stressful. So I think we've missed the boat this morning, which is a shame because I got up early, showered, got Harris showered, everything, washed my hair, dried my hair, straightened my fringe. This is still wet. Put makeup on. I look like an actual human, and he's not awake. I actually have a call later on with a girl from university. She works for a charity, and she put on her Instagram story that they're recruiting. And although it was my intention to be a stay-at-home yummy mummy, I'm interested in it. So I'm going to have a call with her. I used to do charity work. I used to work with her. It's also remote, and it's flexible working hours. Like, you just kind of get your work done when you can. That's about it. I think it could be really good. And also I would like the money because my maternity's ended now. I took early maternity pay because I had a contract as a supply teacher. I don't have a contract to go back to. I started it in August, I think, and Harris was born in October, because I didn't have any money over summer holidays because there was obviously no work in summer holidays. So I went quite a few months without any income at all, and the moment that I was entitled to it, I took it. So that means that my maternity is running out a bit earlier than most people would have it for. So I'm now thinking, should I get a part-time job? I do have a few chores to do though. I've got an absolute mountain of washing that I need to sort out. I need to go to the post office, I need to go to the library and return some of these books. I love the library, it's literally like 3 doors down. Anyway, Harris is up, he's just like that, kicking about. Things don't always go to plan when you're a mum. I've literally got everything sat ready to go, but timings are just off. But that's motherhood. Anyway, look how cute they are. Give him a tie! It's honestly moments like this where you just think how lucky you are. Well, how lucky I am to have a partner like that. I came on the other day and I said that I had an informal chat with a friend talking about a role that was up for grabs in a charity. It's like an entry-level role, and it would be working underneath her to basically create reports for policy change. So I've done my research, I've looked into what the role would entail, and I rewrote my whole CV. That took days. My CV was not looking the best, and since having a baby and leaving teaching, it needed a big shift up. I have a big anxiety about not making money and not being financially independent. I'm a big believer that mums should be with their babies as much as they can. Like, I was reading, let me show you. I started reading this book and I'm only like a third of the way in, and it is amazing. It's really changed the way that I think about parenting. I'm thinking about it in so much more of a positive, nurturing way. Even like the language that I use with Harris, like I don't want to call him a bad sleeper, for instance. I just want to be as positive and supportive as I can for him. And it talks about how basically babies, their brains, their prefrontal cortex isn't developed until about 3 years old, and that's when they can start to self-regulate and have a little bit more logic and reasoning. Until they're 3 years old, they rely on their caregiver, particularly their primary caregiver. And there's loads of studies looking into mothers and staying with their babies until about 3 years old. And I really want to be able to do that as much as I can. The thing is that, like, with the cost of living crisis and all these things are tight, you know. Like, we're a single income household. Luke is the one that works. We're on one salary. He hasn't had a pay rise or a promotion since we've moved into this house. Inflation's just gone up, and now I've got a baby, and there's a big part of me that would just absolutely love to be able to work and get a bit more money in so that we're not as tight. But I also don't want to leave Harris, and he's 6 months old. 6 months old. I don't want to put him in nursery or in childcare. I want to keep him at home until he's at least a little bit older. I've towed and rode. Basically, this role would be ideal because it's a remote working role and it's flexible working hours. It's half time, so I'd have to work 18.5 hours a week. Put in an application. It took a whole week. Like, I haven't made any videos, I haven't made any content. I've barely kept up with chores because it's taken like full working days to try and get a CV done. Luke, to proofread it, I needed to write a personal statement, and then I needed to make actually do the application. So we've done it. If I don't get it, I'll be a little bit gutted, because in my mind I'm like, I've envisioned having that much money every month extra and what that would allow me to do. So I would be a bit gutted if I didn't get it, and I think it'd be perfect for me. It's a charity that is completely aligned with my beliefs and my values and my lived experience, and I would really love to be a part of something like that. And I think something like research and data analysis would be great, because I've developed so many skills on like content creating and like looking at my data to make my videos better and improve, and being a teacher, you know, like you can create reports and deliver reports and all this stuff. So I've got, I think, loads of relevant experience. It would put a strain on like childcare. Pretty much work like when he's napping, or it would only be about 3.5 hours a day, so it's definitely doable. I think the start date is like the start of June, so it's a month turnaround. Maybe could be working again at like 7 months postpartum. I want to get back into a career because I hate the idea that I'm reliant on Luke. I hate the idea that if I was to go back to work when Harris is like 10 years old and he doesn't need me anymore, I hate the idea that I would really struggle to get back into the workplace because I haven't worked for 10 years. That stresses me out. The idea that I'm reliant just solely on Luke in the case, you know, in whatever case could happen, obviously it would create more challenges and more issues in terms of like doing chores, having a baby. But I think it would solve a lot of my personal worries. Harris is 6 months old right now and he needs a lot of attention. So that would create challenges. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know if I'll get it, but find out. I think I'll just upload this video before I find out and just put it out there as like a conversation about going back to work in motherhood. Although I do want to be kind of a stay-at-home mum, and I do kind of want to also home educate, I also do want to be out in the working world. Also really, really enticing about this role is it's so hard to find part-time work. Most places ask for full-time, they ask you to be on site, whereas this is flexible, part-time, and it's remote. Like it's perfect. I can't pass this opportunity up. I have to at least put my name in the pool and see what happens. Anxious, like last night when I applied it, Luke and I were having a conversation about, I pressed the submit button and I thought that I would get this rush of like, excitement. I kind of just had like a rush of anxiety and feeling like I wasn't good enough. I think when you become a mum, it's a really emotionally challenging, demanding job. And you then all have these conflicts in your head about like, am I doing enough for my child? Am I doing enough for the household? You want to give all of your energy and your time to your child, but then also you feel guilty when you're a stay-at-home mum for not contributing to the house. And then when things are tight, you're like, I know that if I were to work, it'd make everything easier. So I've got all of these doubts and feel guilt and just so many emotions going on that when I pressed the submit button, I felt relief that I had put myself out there and that I could get this role. But I also felt like, am I good enough? And I did have a bit of a wobble, I'm not gonna lie, for a few hours last night, just feeling like, am I good enough? And it's crazy because like if you look at my CV, if you look at my experience, I think I'm quite esteemed. I think I've quite achieved a lot for how much I've done in my career. If I get this job, I think it'll really boost my confidence so much, because so much of my self-esteem has been kind of knocked back by like not enjoying teaching and my belief in myself. It really affected my mental health. It made me anxious. Getting involved in a remote, flexible, part-time charity work, it's perfect. I would just love to feel confident in myself, in my ability. I would love to feel intelligent again. I'd love to feel confident. Hopefully I'll hear back soon. There will be a part of me that will be like, I don't want to post it if I don't get it. However, I think it's important to be open about talking about women going back to work. What do you think about going back to work as a new mum? Everyone says that being a working mum is really, really hard, but also being a stay-at-home mum is incredibly difficult. What do you think about going back to work with a really young child like this? On that note, like, comment below and hit the subscribe button. Love to see you back here again. I'll see you next time and hopefully I get a job. See you later.